So, to the question, did Jesus support tithing or was Jesus against tithing? I think it's a very straightforward answer that Jesus neither supported nor was against tithing. Now, to some of you who said Jesus did talk about tithing, the only reference to tithing by Jesus Christ is in the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. If you go to this passage, you see that Jesus was addressing the experts in the law and the Pharisees. And let me read the verse so that you can understand. It says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone." What is this verse saying, or what is Jesus trying to say? Jesus simply says, you experts in the law, you Pharisees, you are all hypocrites, because you give a tithe, you pay. To pay means a levy. You pay a levy of this tenth of mint and dill and cumin, yet you neglect what is more important in law, which is justice, which is mercy, and faithfulness. Now, what have mint, dill, and cumin to do with the church of today? So Jesus clearly was not addressing all peoples. He was addressing the experts in the Jewish law and the Pharisees. The law of tithe was only related to these people. Remember, it was a law that Moses gave. It was not a law of God. So Jesus Christ, in a fashion not to go against established tradition and culture of a particular people, in this case, tithe was a culture, a religious culture of the Jewish people. Specifically now, he was addressing the experts in the law. He wasn't even addressing the people. So Jesus Christ did not preach for or against tithing for the church today. He wasn't addressing the church. In fact, the church had not even been formed. It wasn't until his death and the arrival of the Holy Spirit in the Gospel of Acts that the church began. Because the New Testament, a testator has to be dead before the testament can come into effect. And Jesus is the mediator of this new covenant, of this New Testament. He was still alive at this time of teaching. So technically, Jesus could not have preached for tithing. And again, when you compare it to what was expected of the law, like justice, mercy, and faithfulness, these were things that these experts of the law should what do I call it? Should rule in favor for on behalf of the people. But they were not supporting the people. They weren't giving justice. They weren't giving fair justice. They weren't giving mercy. They weren't showing mercy in dealing with the people. They were not even faithful unto God. So Jesus Christ was calling by saying, "Woe unto you." So he rounded up by saying, do it fine, but don't neglect these other things that are required of you of this particular law. Because the tithe was meant to do justice to the priests, the Levites, the less privileged, the people who had need. They were the one that needed this tithe. All these people, those who work in the temple, needed it like a form of payment for them to survive, like a form of income to them. And so that's why Jesus was not against it, because he must have thought in the church of today, the church would need some certain form of income. The only thing is that in the New Testament, you don't pay levy. Jesus Christ has paid the price. So there is no levy anyhow anymore. Thank you.